Alright guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do this little effect right here in After Effects. Let me start with getting a new composition. This tutorial is going to be a little longer just because it is a pretty extensive effect, but we'll get through it. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up a new composition first, and I'm going to make it 1080 by 1080, and we'll go ahead and name this Energy. And make sure we have it on black and hit OK. And next what we're gonna do is right click and create a new solid. Make sure it's 1080 by 1080. Again, we'll label it Energy, and this one we want it to be white, and hit OK. Make sure it's still selected, and we're gonna go up here, and right now it's on rectangle. We want to get ellipse, so click on that and then double click on ellipse, and it'll be a circle just like this. Let's see, so I'm gonna go about like right here, and we want to have our mask pulled up. What we want right now is mask expansion, so I'm gonna come down just a tad. I'm gonna go to my feather and feather it quite a bit, and let's hit the stopwatch on mask expansion, and we're gonna drag this all the way to the front. And you just want to kind of drag this all the way down until you can't see the circle anymore. So for right now, this is what this looks like. I'm going to drag this out just a bit more. And then now what we want to do is select mask, Command D, and we just duplicated it. And now what we want to do instead of add is switch it to subtract. So right now this is what it's going to look like a little ring, which is exactly what we want. So I'm gonna go about like right here, and I'm gonna drag this down a bit more just to make the ring thicker, and I'm gonna drag this out just a bit more because I want it to be a longer effect. So this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna drag this out more, and then I'm just gonna select all these and keyframe assistant, easy ease. And that's what it's looking like right now. Cool, so now what we're gonna do is hit T on our keyboard for opacity, and then we're gonna wait till it gets about close to the end right here. I'm gonna hit the stopwatch, and then right here go from 100 to 0 just so that it fades out. And this is what we should have right now. So next what we want to do is grab this shoe slow-mo shot, which I left the link in the description for you guys. And this is just the shot right here. So now we want to grab the energy and drag it into our comp right on top of the shoe layer, and this is what we have right now. So I want the circle to kind of start right when the foot hits the ground, so I'm going to drag this in a bit, and let's see how this looks right here. Drag it in a little bit more. Alright, so next what we want to do is go back to our energy layer, go over here to the 3D layer, make the circle a 3D, and we want the X rotation, so we're gonna flip it down like this, and then now we can use these little arrows to kind of move it around and bring it like this, and then we can go back to our shoe layer, and then now our circle is going to be moved. Now notice how it's getting cut off right here. We're actually going to go back into our energy comp, and we're going to go to composition settings, and we're going to make this 1920 by 1080 now. Duration, I have mine set to 3 seconds because we're probably going to make the effect last a little longer. Right now it's a little too quick. And bam, now we have this going on. So while we're at it right now, I'm going to go to my mask and grab all these keyframes, and I'm just going to kind of drag this out quite a bit more because I want the effect to be way longer than what it is right now. As you can tell too, it looks pretty small, so like what we're going to do is hit S on our keyboard, and I'm going to scale up quite a bit right now. Dope. So this is what we should have right now. Next, what we want to do is right click, go to adjustment layer. I'm going to drag this in quite a bit. We're going to go to our effects and type in displacement map. And this is what we want, displacement map. Drag that onto our adjustment layer. And then right now you can see nothing's happening. So what we want to do is go to displacement map, layer, and hit energy. And now you're going to see that this is going to affect the energy right here quite a bit. Obviously you can't see too much, so we're going to drag this up. And drag this one up as well. And now you can see we have a little shockwave. Now notice how like we have this black showing in right here. That's okay, we can fix that. So what we're gonna do is go back to our effects. We're gonna type in motion tile, drag motion tile onto our adjustment layer, and go ahead and drag motion tile above displacement map. And then what we want is output width and height. So I'm just gonna kind of go up on the width a little bit, go up on the height, and we're gonna mirror edges, and bam, now it's fixed. I don't want it to start right here, so we're gonna have to mess with the position a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back to my energy layer, move this like this, come up a little bit more, and this is what it's looking like. I kind of want it to start a little more in the middle, so I'm trying to bring this way just a tad bit. Let's see what that does. Dope. I'm gonna play this pretty fast real quick. It's cool, but I want it to be even like more intense, you know, so I'm gonna go back into here, and it's gonna be a lot of back and forth, so you guys can get it right. But really it's up to you how you want to tailor it. You have a lot of freedom to do whatever with this. And I'm gonna drag it out just a little bit more so the effect lasts a little longer. We can also, like I said, drag this if you don't want the circle to be as thick. Just kind of play around with it, see what works for you. We can go back over here to our displacement map. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit more just because I want it to be pretty intense. I'm gonna play this one more time. Dope. All right, next what we want to do is add a little shake when he stomps on the ground. So I'm gonna make sure my shoe layer is selected, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna type in wiggle, and what we want is wiggle position. Drag that onto the shoe layer, and right now I'm gonna hit 0 and 0, and I'm gonna wait for his foot to actually make contact with the ground. So I'm gonna hit the stopwatch right here, still set to 0, let it go up a little bit, about like right there, and I'm gonna kind of increase the amount right here. Let's see what that looks like real quick. And then right here, go back to 0. Dope. And now we do have a little bit of like black showing because it's like moving the whole screen. That's a simple fix. So we just go to make sure our shoe layer is selected, hit S. We can kind of scale up just a little bit. Now it's gone. And then I'm gonna make sure that I select motion blur for that shoe layer, and it's just gonna add a little blur when he steps in. Next, what we want to do is go back to our adjustment layer right here, and we want our mask. So I'm gonna select it, and I'm gonna start masking around the shoe right here. This is so that the displacement map isn't like distorting the shoe. We want the shoe to stay clean, but everything else around him is getting all distorted. So I'm gonna bring up my mask right here, and make sure you want to check inverted and check mask path. And we're just gonna kind of like move with the shoe right now. I'm gonna select all these keyframes so that I can kind of move it a little better. I'm gonna do a really rough mask on all this, so it's not gonna be perfect, but make sure you take your time when you're doing it. And this is what it's looking like right now. Obviously there's a little bit of weirdness going on right here in this corner, so let me feather it out. And then the mask expansion, we're gonna kind of like mess with that a little bit. So this is pretty much the foot stomp wave. Next, what we want to do is grab another adjustment layer, and I'm going to drag this one right on top of the shoe layer, and we're going to type in turbulent displacement, and we're going to drag that onto that other adjustment layer right here. And you can see it's already super distorted. What this is going to be is our heat wave. So I'm going to wait till after he stomps. About right there is where I want my heat wave to start. So I'm going to drag this in, and right here we have all our effects. I'm going to hit everything to 0 right now. And keep it like that. I'm going to actually bring up the keyframes down here because I like working with it over here. So we want the amount, size, complexity, and evolution. And he stomps, shakes, and then about like right here, I want the heat waves to start coming in. So I'm gonna bring up the amount, the size, and then I'm gonna bring up the evolution. And this is how many times it's gonna be like shaking around. See how it like fades out? So we're gonna have to like drag it out quite a bit. The heat waves kick in, and then I'm gonna have it be even more intense down here. So I'm gonna set some more keyframes. So I'm probably gonna go up in the amount a little bit more, and same with the size, and then the evolution as well. I'm gonna go up a little bit more. And I'm gonna make sure these keyframes are about right here, right before he's about to take off, and then after he takes off, I'm gonna set everything back to 0. And this is what it's looking like right here. Now notice it still affects his foot and everything, so we're gonna have to do a mask around that so we keep it clean. So next what we wanna do is make sure you have your adjustment layer selected. I'm gonna grab my mask, and I'm gonna start drawing a mask around his shoe and his leg so that the heat wave's not really affecting it. And let me go back in real quick right here. I'm gonna feather it out. And then over the expansion a bit. That's pretty much the foot stomp heat wave energy effect. Hope you guys liked it. Just let me know what you guys want to see below. Thanks for watching.